Hi there, welcome to the Tomb of Illumination, where we discuss flat Earth, its whole system. The only site in probably the whole world that breaks down the whole flat Earth system, because I know the system. Trust me, everything equates and it cannot be debunked. So if you want to learn about the flat Earth, this is the one and only site where you'll get all the facts. Today's video is about time. What is it? And how it's associated with the flat Earth. So understanding time, which is kept by the sun, you get to understand how the flat Earth system works. So first you need to understand where the actual sun is. And it's not where you think it is. That image you see in the sky is only an image within man's arc of horizon. It comes up on your horizon, goes down on your horizon. Doesn't go below the horizon. It's gone up and over out of your perspective. Man can only see so far. People who believe they live in a spinning ball like to tell flat earthers and many people that we should see forever. No. So if Polaris is here and you're over here and that's your arc of horizon, as you move, your arc moves. It goes down on your horizon. Bring your arc, it comes back up. Okay, this is how everything works in our realm. Everything comes to us perpendicular to that arc. We're always standing zenith, 90 degrees to zenith. So imagine that. You're standing here 90 degrees to zenith. The globalists like to tell you you're living on a globe. And it goes all the way around here. Well, what's all around here? They've never shown us anything around here. We're standing right there and they're telling you you're in the middle of a ball. No, they tell you you're standing up here on the outside of the ball, don't they? But in celestial navigation, they make you stand here in the middle of the ball. Well, that's where all the calculations come back to, the middle of the ball. Well, because they bring it back to you. That's your calculation on the flat Earth system. Everything comes back to you perpendicular from that curve. There is only one sun. It sends out a projection into our dome, our arc of horizon. This is why it's written by the ancient Egyptians. The sun is in many places, but only seen in one. Your arc of horizon. If you haven't seen my site before, this is a slice through the whole flat Earth system. So imagine a pancake, there's the centre of the pancake, and I've sliced it through the middle. Now you get a cross section. The sun is up above the Arctic centre. It's connected to the Milky Way, which comes over to the tropical gap. We assume, but there's more to that story. Where we see the image. The image is coming from here, through the Milky Way. And as it moves around our flat Earth system, that's our 24-hour day. That image. But the real sun back here, we do not see, because it's outside of our realm. We're within this line here, and here is pure plasma. You can't see pure plasma for a starter, but that's creation. We're created. You can't go back in time. You can't go back into your mother's womb and start looking around, can you? No. So realise this is up above the Arctic centre. Okay, it's not at this point. There is no black sun like people talk about that's underground or whatever. That's ridiculous. It's a black sun because it's on the black hole horizon. This is what creates the solar eclipses and stuff. Depends on the position of the sun, what's blocking its frequency, because it's all resonant frequencies. That creates the shadow on the Earth. What passes in front of the moon cancel out its resonant frequencies. It's not down here because Earth itself is from the whole. It's fixed and stationary. It's been created from the whole. See, so because Earth has been created by the whole and it's created, we now have our system here above it replicating creation as well. So now our black hole is up here with the sun on its horizon. Okay? The Earth is from the hole, it's fixed and stationary. So, you know, that has been created from creation. So, bang, that exists. Then we have to have our own system in here on this plane. It's hard to describe actually. But anyway, what happens is the magnetic field of Earth has to flow up here. It flows up here in this recycling system. Check out my other videos if you haven't seen them before. And then you have the electrical system sort of coming down this way. So you call this, you have to imagine these are the capacitor plates and this is the dielectric in between the capacitor plates. So it's all metaphysical, but we know we can create it all physically on our Earth, but creation is all metaphysical because it's come from nothing basically. You're not seeing it. Our images in our realm are only secondary. They're all reflections, mirrored, secondary images. The source is right back here in this Arctic vortex. It's the place of creation back here. So we have one sun here on the horizon of the black hole turning, casting out an image that moves around here in the Milky Way. You can't see the Milky Way during the day, of course, can you? No, but we can see the back of it, and that's at night. So when the sun's facing that way, here's the Milky Way. That's Sagittarius A. Okay? Anyway, let's get back to time and the sun. So there's only one sun. It's in the middle of the creation, just off center actually, because the black hole is the center of creation. The sun is on its horizon, moves around the horizon of the black hole. So it's moving around the hole. As it moves around the hole, its energy, frequencies, resonance, you know what I mean, is shining, is reflecting across the hole, because the hole is the amplifier. They amplified our realm. This is all a blown up image. So the sun sits on the horizon of the black hole and turns with the hole. That's your 24-hour day. That's our timekeeper. That's the atomic timekeeper. It's accurate right back at that spot. Science knows about this. They just want you to know about this one over here. It does random things for the seasonal up and down changes and stuff. But the actual one back here doesn't move up and down. It just turns. Very boring in some mythological stories. But that is following the magnetic field of Earth. So what the magnetic field of Earth is doing, that sun is on those magnetic field lines. I've talked about that in previous videos. So the clock, the sun is our clock. And it moves around the world like this, doesn't it? 15 degrees per hour. It's not a straight line because the magnetic field of Earth is curved. So just consider that. But you also have to realise the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere have a mirrored image. And it goes like this. There's two systems. This is the Milky Way. They go like this. So there is only one time. It's equal. It's mirrored. But it's just not a straight line all the way from the centre Arctic out to the Antarctic. But it's all the same time. So there's only one timekeeper, right? So if you're a timekeeper, let's imagine it's a clock arm. There's your hand at the end there. It's a clock arm. Sweeping across your flat earth system. Where along this clock arm is time varying from anywhere else? It doesn't. How do we measure distance across the earth, say east to west? By time. You have to judge your distance by time. I've done 45 nautical miles in 10 minutes. Where did 10 minutes come from? Well, it's the timekeeper, that's the sun. If we didn't have this consistent sun moving, how do we relate time? Stars are all over the place. So there's only one timekeeper. So if this is only one timekeeper sweeping across our flat earth like this, from north to south, why would time be any different here than it is down there? Well, it's not. So when you look at a Gleason map and find it's very small up here and very wide out there, why would it take longer to get out there across the southern field between the arcs of longitude as it would back here in the smaller gap as seen on a Gleason map, when time is all relevant? Once you understand that, then you start to understand that everything that moves from the north to the south expands in the field, because we live in a toroidal field and everything comes out from its centre. So all expansion is coming from the centre, and everything in that field must expand. Everything that's not fixed and stationary to this earth gets bigger as it moves south. No one's going to know that, are they? This guy doesn't know what this guy's doing. This is why we come back to the old arc of horizon. You can only see so far. God's created our realm perfectly. You have to accept all these things. So, time is movement. There's only one clock, and that's the sun, creating the movement. So, as you move from A to B, how much time did you burn up? That is your calculation from east to west. I moved 20 nautical miles in so much time. That amount of time he took out here is exactly the same amount of time he took back here to get from A to B. So no matter what latitude you're on, time is all relative to the observer on that latitude. So there you have it. Earth's flat, and you have to understand the movement of the sun, time. Who are these people saying time doesn't exist? What a load of rubbish. Time is kept by our atomic timekeeping. So they create the globe, and then they give you the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, and then start going, the Tropic of Capricorn is way bigger than the Tropic of Cancer. No, there's only one time. Time over distance, or distance over time, or time's calculated by distance, or distance calculated by time. It's all the same, isn't it? It's the same time. Why would you be travelling further around Capricorn as opposed to Cancer? No, you can't. It's only one time. This blows the lid on the whole globe idea. You understand this, that's it. This is why we get the pancake, the Gleason map and all the longitudes stretching out like this. It doesn't matter. So, because of the system like this is why they came up with, many years ago, a cylindrical idea, map, or Earth. Cylindrical. Because it's all moving, it's all relative to the latitude. So, you can work on that model, or you've got your Gleason map there, you can draw your continents on there easy enough, we can see them all, but ideally you need one about 2 meters in diameter so you can clearly see all the continents, because everything just shrinks back to the center. If you check out my earlier videos, the northern hemisphere is so small compared to the wider southern hemisphere, because everything expands out, right? So if you're going to use a Mercator map, which you should do as an example of where the continents are, you then correlate that with a Mercator map. And the Mercator map's just square, because all the arcs of longitude are not arcs, they're just parallel, because its time is all equal all the way down. This is why we have a Mercator map, and it works with the cylindrical map as well. They all work together. It's a tricky thing, eh? Flat Earth. So that's all I can say, really. I hope you understood all that. Get over this concept that there's no black hole sun. It's up there. This has been created from the hole. Now this has been created. Bingo, all life begins. Because that was the primordial deep down here before it came up, before it came alive. Everything just appeared once that sun was created, because we're all light beings. Everything is of the light. If that sun went out, fully went out, we'd just all disappear. Our spirit would be there, the energy's still there, but you can't see anything, nothing would be visible. Okay? Understand that. Understand the Milky Way. There's one that comes from the north into the centre here, and there's also one from the south. So there's a flat, if you've been here before, there's your central northern hemisphere, there's a tropical gap. We have a Milky Way that goes like this, and we have a Milky Way that goes like this. And that's the ram's horns and anything, esoteric languages, religions, everything. But we've got them all the way around, because it's a reflection out from the centre north. Everything from in here is reflected out. There's always an image out there. It's an infinite image of a southern field out here, because every man will see one. He has his own, because that's his arc of horizon. That's his perspective of the world. He's standing at zenith. This guy will be over here. He gets his south image, his northern image, dead centre south. If he veers off a little bit to the west or the east, it's going to be warping away a bit. But like if you use star trail photography, dead south, he gets his rotation. This guy here, dead south, gets his rotation. But this overall star rotation winds all the way around the central northern hemisphere. So it's just revolving a little bit. So this guy's stars will be turned a little bit more than his. The same stars are just turned a bit more as they move around southern hemisphere. Okay, not sure how much time I've got left on the camera, but I can burn up some more time. So, okay, clock arm. Time is the same all the way up here. It's not 1 o'clock here, 5 o'clock there. No, it's 5 o'clock all the way, or 1 o'clock all the way. The time it takes from there to there is the same time it takes from here to there. Out there or back here, same time. Okay? I'll leave it at that. Cheers. Put the likes up. Check out my Patreon page, because I delve into a lot of stuff way beyond what I'm telling you now. It's only $3.50 a month, American, and you're going to get some amazing information you won't get anywhere else. Okay? Cheers.